Hello, this is James. GIgantes is one of the good monsters out of the new mini box that I feel like has not gotten quite enough attention because he is very impressive. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing one Earth monster from your graveyard. If this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. So against those back row heavy decks, like, yeah, you know, your opponent can destroy the GIgantes with the mirror wall, with the wall of D, but then GIgantes can take the extra two potential back row out of the equation. So maybe GIgantes gets the attack for free, maybe GIgantes gets that +2 on your opponent. You win either way. But the thing about GIgantes is he blows up all the spells and trap cards on the field. So we need a deck that appreciates GIgantes. We need a deck that doesn't have too much back row, that has earth spamming capability. And most importantly, we need a deck that needs big rocks. And that is why today we are pairing GIgantes with the magnets. So the magnets are great for GIgantes because they're all earths. Their customary boss monster, Gaia Plate, the earth giant, requires rocks, which GIgantes is, so that feeds the GIgantes. And if in a pinch you need to downbeat onto GIgantes to search Beta, the Electromagnet Warrior, a level up reward for Yugimoto, you can do so because he's one level higher, but he's the same attribute and the same type. So we're gonna have 3 downbeats. And so basically GIgantes in this magnet deck is going to be our removal. The opponent can remove him, and then he can remove the opponent's back row, or he can get a free attack. And then in the times that we don't have GIgantes, we have anti-cheese arrows, a classic favorite of the magnets. And of course we have 1 Valkyrion. We are going to go 3 Delta, the Magnet Warrior, and that Delta is primed to be destroyed, or tributed with the Econ take to summon a Valkyrion from your hand or deck, and we'll see all of that in the replays. And then finally 1 Snipe Baby, because these downbeats can be boldly set. Now if you're going to bluff with the downbeats, you need to do it fast, because the opponent might see through it anyway, but they're definitely going to see through it if you take 2 years and then set a bluff downbeat. If it was anything good, you would set it immediately. So if you're going to act like it, you need to set it immediately. But for the times that you don't want to do that, we have Snipe Baby. We can discard our extra cards, our extra betas, our extra whatevers, in order to remove threats. What grows in the graveyard just provides an extra earth monster for GIgantes. So if you have GIgantes, you can start with GIgantes, and he doesn't compete for the rock resources with Gaia Plate, the earth giant, or Valkyrion for that matter, which is a very nice thing. Win rate for this deck is about 60%. 60%. I actually did rank up into Plat 2. There's my 4-win streak in Platinum. And it's a good explosive deck, as we will see shortly. Okay, here we're going second against Seto Kaiba, or Kiza with the Dark Verger skill. What grows in the graveyard? Which, I don't want it to be nerfed, but I know it's going to be nerfed. Alright, so we have Delta, Gaia, and anti-cheese arrows, enemy controller, and the GIgantes. So Delta, mill, and normal, and then GIgantes is going to get in there. Big damage on the Seto Kaiba. We have Seal, Strategist for Hire, Dyna, Beatdown, banishes my rock resources, and then hits the GIgantes, and then GIgantes blows up the back row. So there you go. You win with GIgantes either way. Since the opponent doesn't have back row, we can just go ahead and activate enemy controller, but we can also do the chain in the battle phase thing with anti-magic arrows. If you're going to do that, make sure you activate enemy controller first, because I think you could do it either way, but they fixed it so that anti-magic arrows can't be responded to by anything, even your own cards. We're going to tribute take, set, and attack for game with our second GIgantes. Here we're going first against Joey Owila, Life Point Boost Alpha. What grows in the graveyard? Life Point Boost Alpha. Yeah, noob skill, but then Arrow Mages came along. and it also helps you against all those OTK decks that are finely tuned to 4K LP. Thankfully, we have attack points to spare. So, Magnet's move, we go Beta, morph into a Downbeat, and the opponent has full-on Vampires with the Gozooks, with the, what is that? Is that a Prismatic Vampire Familiar? I believe that it is. Searches the Vampire Scarlet Scourge, Bashing Shield, and then we're just gonna let him do all of his things. So we wanna sit on this Beta as soon as. Well, I was sitting on this Beta because I was expecting the Grace, and then the Grace mills a card, targets the Beta, and then we pop the Beta, send them to the graveyard, and then we get out Delta, and then Delta can go into Valkyrion. Alright, so we're just gonna pop Beta, Delta, Valkyrion, primed and ready to banish 3 Magnet Warriors, 4 Valkyrion from the deck, halting the opponent's advance completely. We have our Delta. We're going to go into Gaia Plate. We're going to hit the Gozuki first, and then we're going to hit this Grimson at minus 1,000, minus 2,200. No more Vampire shenanigans for the nonce. Vampire's Domain recovers the life points. Vampire Grimson, the MVP, stealing the Delta. Little known effect, but we have the anti-cheese arrows for game. Here we're going first against Arcana. What grows in the graveyard versus a trick up the sleeve, a guaranteed level 7 Dark Spellcaster. Could be Cosmo Brain, could be Dark Magician. I'm kidding, it's Cosmo Brain. Alright, so we have Magnet Warriors, Delta, Mills, Beta, and then, alright, so here's a trick. Alright, here's the thing about trick up the sleeve. You know that one card in their hand is Cosmo Brain, and even though the Blue Eyes seems overwhelming, that is important information. Alright, so that's one of his cards, Ancient Rules, and then so he sets 2, and then I know that this one card is a Cosmo Brain and not a Blue Eyes White Dragon like Dragon Spirit of White can switch into by tributing itself. Change the Delta to defense position, set a Beta, the Electromagnet Warrior, and then we have Dragon Spirit of White, Protector with Eyes of Blue. 1 plus 8 equals Gigante Castle, hits the Beta, which is actually kind of perfect. So now Delta is not primed, but we're going to go into our Gaia Plate, the Earth Giant. Barth, alright, Dragon Spirit of White is going to banish my set anti-cheese or arrows, and the opponent has, so a nice little bonus playing with Gaia Plate. People forget about the Gaia Plate. He's old, but he's strong. So you gotta keep up on the Gaia Plate. You gotta read your cards. You gotta not bash your free-to-play rock monster into my pay-to-win rock monster, because this is the result. Go to the graveyard, and Gaia Plate banishes our 1 remaining rock and attacks for lethal. Here we're going first against Yami Omeric. What grows in the graveyard? This is my new ability. And the Shadow Game. Oh, I'm liking all of these. I'm liking all of these thematic abilities being thrown around in Platinum. So we have Electromagnet Beta, and we're just gonna play that minus 100 off of Shadow Game, and then we can go into our Beta, the Electromagnet Warrior. This situation, GIgantes would be amazing, but we don't draw him, or like a lot of duels, I didn't draw him. So we have Shadow Game, and then this Mog Mole, and then, oh no, the Lava Golem. Oh, this is a really good animation, but it's not something that you want to see against yourself. All right, so both of my Deltas gone, but that Delta can be tributed, Delta can be destroyed, and that pops the Delta to special summon the Valkyrion, and it also prevents us from taking a little bit of Shadow Game damage. And we have the Lava Golem. Opponent was not counting on the anti-cheese arrows. Happens to the best of us. We have overwhelming victory over Yami Merrick. Here we go, second, it's Yami Bakura. A A lot of darkness in Plat today. We have what grows in the graveyard, necromancy. We have Yami Bakura, like whatever his problem is, and then Yami Merrick, who has glaring and obvious problems. So Delta or the Beta, Electromagnet, Downbeat, and then we're just gonna wait. We're just gonna wait because the Beta, the Electromagnet Warrior, is popped on the opponent's turn, and now the Delta is primed. All right. So that's the thing. You morph into the Electromagnet Beta, and then that puts 1, and then Beta is 1, and then tributes itself for Delta, which puts a 3rd in the graveyard, and then when Delta is destroyed, this happens. Boom, boom, shabooms, and we summon the Valkyrion from the hand. You seem to draw a Valkyrion oddly often. All right, so we're gonna have the full lineup of Valkyrion, Gaia Plate, and Delta the Magnet Warrior, the original rock-type crew. Adhesion, Trap, hole, and then the anti-cheese arrows to get the big damage, but the anti-cheese arrows doesn't negate Kuriboh, and frankly, this Gates of the Dark World makes me a little nervous because of the oh my god, so many stalling cards. Because of Dark Worlds in the past and this deck not having Kuriboh. But I think we finally have it. So Graveswarm, we do not. Graveswarm forced to destroy the lesser monster. Yami Bakura submits to the big rocks. Thank you for watching.